Okay, so I'm just the idiotic, stupid dog, but at least I know when I'm about to do a piss poor take. And the reason for which is that I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. And that's what happens when the producers or the producer dictates what your material is, what you're covering. When they hand you a piece of paper with a bunch of chicken scratch on it and say, do this, you're like, bud, it doesn't come from within. It's not organic. I don't have any good zingers or one-liners. But the producer, when the man was sharing some of the things he was finding, I don't know. It seemed like it had a little bit more of a, I don't know what kind of feel you would say, but it just seemed like it was more homeopathic or whatever. I don't even know what they call it. When the man was sharing a lot of his things, I could kind of look down on it a little bit and I could kind of send a little bit. But when the producer is dictating what I do, it kind of is off-putting and it puts me off my rhythm, and I don't know. It's just like I said. So anyways, the producer, he hands me a piece of paper and he says, hit it. And I'm like, I start reading, and I've gotten to be a better reader, but I'm like, he writes like he's on acid. And I'm like, Punkie Johnson. Listen, first off, Punkie Johnson, you can't go by the name Punkie Johnson. Punkie Brewster was okay. Once you get past, between the ages of 9 and 12, you can go by Punkie. If you're kind of an ashy black lesbian with an inordinately thick neck, you can't go by Punkie anymore. At least wear a beret or something. Help us out a little bit. But this girl, I don't know where they find these black women who they put on Saturday Night Live. Let me say this. Marjorie Taylor Greene, this is the black lesbian comedic Marjorie Taylor Greene. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. It's just, we're talking about, I don't know what to say. You're not supposed to talk about women from, just an appearance standpoint. But Punkie used the N-word and said bitch. And it seems kind of hilarious that when I'm quoting her, I can't say the N-word. I have to say N-word, but yet I can say bitch. Explain that one to me. That to me is kind of hilarious, but whatever. The producer is a big Kill Tony fan, and I couldn't even really read what he's saying. So the producer says she's apologizing. She's apologizing for people who don't need to be apologized for, or vice versa. I don't even know what it is. But she's bringing down the whole show. You got to talk about how she brings the show to a halt. I was like, okay, whatever. You just did. The producer says, I'm a big William Montgomery, Uncle Laser fan, and I'm beginning to become a Hans Kim in a wig fan. To me, it was all Greek. I didn't know what he was talking about. He says, these people are regulars on the Kill Tony show. Hans Kim, this might be one of her first times, I don't know. But these comics are big-time comics. And when Punkie Johnson seemed to clash with these guys, the comments went wild, and she was eviscerated. She was killed by the commenters. I'm like, who the hell reads the comments? The producer reads the comments. If there's a juicy tidbit, he's supposed to pass it on to the talent. You're not supposed to worry about any comments, whatever. It doesn't matter. But, the producer's like, yeah, but what happened was when William Montgomery, he was in the zone, and he didn't realize Punkie tried to give him a high five when he walked out there with his bag of 500 fortune cookies. His bit killed, but she was kind of tearing him down because she felt like she was disrespected. And I was like, is that it? That's the take? And the producer looks at me and goes, hey, asshole, believe me, this right here, it's good enough to get more views than you've been getting with this other bullshit. Hey, bud, nobody gives a crap about politics or your whatever, your observations. This you're globbing on to people who are more successful. And I thought to myself, God bless. First of all, no one ever said I'm supposed to be a comic. An idiotic, stupid dog who makes posts. Okay? If I thought, when I'm watching Kill Tony, I'm like, it's so edgy. To me, it's so off-putting. Maybe I would get used to it, but I don't know. Would you get used to chewing on rock, salt, and gravel? To me, if I had to walk around feeling, I don't know, like I had to put everything down, or, I could only look at things negatively. And I mean, that's what I do the most. But I think I do it a little softer. If I had to go around with this much of a hard edge and this much of a snotty ass attitude, I would have to walk in front of a school bus. And the reason I would walk in front of a school bus is so that I could traumatize some of the kids as I got killed. Why I even think that way, I don't know. Maybe I should try to get on Kill Tony. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. This is 6 minutes of your life you're never getting back.